get it just won't.
Yeah, it's recording already. So we're recording. So back to need to be. Nope. Okay, you're off and running here.
Presentation.
Go ahead.
So we're doing Nearpod. We did this last year. We found it last year anyway, just kind of out of by fluke because we were studying videos, how to embed videos with classroom instruction. And so a teacher had told us about Nearpod, how to embed videos and how to embed PowerPoints and make it interactive. So that was kind of our goal with this. So we'll look at the outcomes for today. We're really going to explore everything Nearpod has to offer, and we're going to do that through an actual student lesson that we will walk through with you as a student. We're going to learn all the features of Nearpod. So as you as a student, you're going to see the real time, what you see as a teacher. So we're going to play back and forth the teacher mode and the student mode, so you'll see both modes of it. We're going to do a live session, but then we're also going to share with you how you can do a synchronized session. So that's more of that self-paced session, or for students to do ahead of time or for homework. So we're just going to go ahead and get started.
Before we do though, if you want to take down this bit.ly, this will get you to the site that we're on right now, and it provides you with all kinds of links for more information about how to use Nearpod. So once we leave you after this hour, you'll still have lots and lots of information. So I'd take down this bit.ly code if I were you, or just remember to come to either Kim or my wiki space to get that information. We have it on both of our sites. Okay, so we'll go to nearpod.com. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the main page here. And you have 5 different choices as you work with Nearpod. And I'm going to hit help me decide to let you see what each of those means. So if you were thinking, well, what's my library got? It has access to all of your live sessions, the sessions you have that you can launch either live or as homework. So these are sessions you've saved or you've created for your students to use in the classroom. Then you've got Explore. Nearpod has thousands of lessons out there that teachers have created and that you can use also with your students. And so you can get out there and check those out. Join is how you will be getting into this class today. You'll be joining by being given a PIN number, and you will be coming in as a student. So what you see on your computer will be the student mode if you click join, or if you have an iPad and you want to see both screens at the same time, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, go to nearpod.com on your iPhone or your iPad and come in as the student there, and then you can see that both the student and the teacher versions at the same time. I'm going to set up 2 tabs, one for student, one for teacher, but if you'd like to have Jeannie and Liz, do you each have your own iPads or iPhones you can use for this?
I do not.
You don't? Okay. So
I do have an iPad here.
You do have an iPad?
Yep.
So you can join as a student. I'll do both tabs, Jeannie, so don't worry, you'll get to see both. The create area is where you actually create your own Nearpod presentations for your students. And then finally, reports is where you can access all your student data from your presentation that your students did with you, because in these sessions you can assess students all along the way through drawings, polls, etc. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I have a question for them. Liz and Jeannie, have you used Nearpod at all yet? Tried it out?
No.
I had just gone in, I've created an account, I dabbled with it, and I wasn't sure if it was free or not. It seemed like it was going to charge, and I didn't get back into it.
Okay, so good thing you weren't sure if it was going to be free or charged. It's free as long as you do live sessions. If you want to do it asynchronously as the homework version with the kids, then they charge you money. So that's the
Okay.
two versions that you have, okay? So
Yep.
that's something you'll want to, and then when you're ready, you'll want to create an account or whatever. So we're ready to go to the home page. For some reason, we're not getting our home page.
Hi there.
Should I close this? Explore lessons. For some reason, there we go.
Well, let's just go back in and type www.nearpod.com.
Yeah. I've got too many things spinning around here. Okay, so here we are at Nearpod. And slowly, it's coming up.
So when Marcia went through those 5 features, we're actually going to dig into the explore part first. So.
And so one way to explore, you've got all these sessions that you can buy or get free. There are free ones, there are purchasable ones in the Nearpod site. And you can filter to make it much easier. I can go to.
I want a free one.
I want a free one, but I want Common Core.
I want free Common Core. Free.
Free?
I want a math one.
Okay.
And I want 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Okay.
Search Common Core.
All strands?
Let's do operations and algebraic thinking.
Okay. I'm going to search for that. And we have 3 different ones, and they're all free. So if I wanted them, all I have to do is click on free and add it to my library. And it's now in my library. Okay. So I'm going to go to my library. And remember on our little home button, we had that My Library, Explore, and Join. I'm right now in the My Library part of it. And in My Library is the commutative property for multiplication. So I can actually run this session with my kids right now. It just took me a matter of seconds to get it. But we're going to go in now. Is that?
Yep. So we're actually going to go into a 6th grade science lesson, Introduction to the Solar System. And while we're doing that, we're going to show you the different features of Nearpod. So it's embedded right within the lesson.
Okay. So I'm going to start a live session. And whoops, darn it. Hang on. We were in it, but that's all right. I'm going to close it back out and I'm going to go back. I'm going to end the session because we were in it just a minute ago. Okay, so I'm going to go back and start the live session again. And you're given a PIN number. So on your iPad, Liz, you'll want to put in this PIN number. I'm going to open a new tab. Kim's going to put it on her computer.
So we have to put in nearpod.com, right?
Yep, go to nearpod.com. .com. And we click join right at the top. Right up here it says join, other than having all the join lesson. So we want to join the lesson.
And the number is what?
And the lesson code is QOCKG. QOCKG. And go. So now the first thing it says for you to enter your name. So if you would enter your name, students could put in if you didn't want the kids to have their names appear when you were talking to them in the classroom and you wanted it to be more anonymous, they could put in if each one of them has a code for the class or something, they could put in their code if they wanted to. Then we hit send. Now as the teacher, I'm going to close this out and move on into the lesson. And these are the features that you will get to see in the lesson. We're going to show you how to use poll, question and answer, draw it, quiz, video, sharing web pages, and then we'll talk at the end about the self-paced version of it. Okay? So do you all see this page in front of you as students? You should. This is what it should look like. This is the student version. This is the teacher version. For you, Jeannie, I'm bouncing back and forth so you can see.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to go to the next page. As a student, you don't have these features of moving from page to page. I have control of that, not you. So we're synchronous for a while, and then I'm going to give you asynchronous time in the lesson. So we move into it. We're going to have a session on the solar system. Also, if students end up locking up, or you notice that they're in the wrong location, or something happens, you'll need to tell them they need to log back in if they got off track. And they have the PIN number always at the top of the screen for them to get back into the session. And I can, as a teacher, I can tell if any of my students have gotten off task. Tells me how many of my students are in the class, and I can actually go there and see my student list. So they know that I can check on them at all times and see who's which. So you have great control, great management control with your students. Okay.
Jeannie, do you want to go ahead and try to get in as a student?
Sure.
Or do you want to just watch back
I
and
can
forth?
watch. I'll play with it later.
Okay. Okay, so we are taking the kids into the solar system, telling them to explore various parts of the solar system, and they're going to read about the planets. So I give them an overview of what they'll be doing for the day. Then we move on into it, and I say, okay, let's check this out. The solar system includes all these planets. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, my first question to you is, what would you like to know about the solar system? So on your screen as a student, you have this. You have that small image of this picture, and then what do you want to learn about the solar system? Now is your time to enter something. So each of us will enter something. And my question is? Okay, and you hit send. So students are doing this now, okay? As a teacher, I am seeing students' answers come in. But as students, they don't see any of this. So Liz, if you put an answer, are you putting a question in? Up there, how far are we away from Neptune? Okay, now I see these questions, but the students don't. So if I want the students to see this, how many of you thought this might be an interesting question? Now, if you look on the student screen, this is what they see.
I kind of like that there's no names of the students. We just have the questions that are being asked for the statements. So it's totally private. Students' names don't come up.
Right, it's totally anonymous. And so we just share, and then as the students, you see each of those. So then you can share those one at a time and say, you need to think about that. Which direction do you want to go? And we're ready to move on. So that was some asynchronous time for you to work on putting in your own information. And we move on. So now we have the asynchronous time for reading. And this allows you to put in a presentation reading passages, and it actually comes in as a set of pages.
This is called the slideshow feature.
Slideshow.
So you can actually embed a whole like slideshow, like part of a PowerPoint in here.
Right. So Kim could be on one page and I could be on another. I'm on the student version. I'm going to jump to page 4. Kim, and that's a student. Kim's on page 1. Liz, what page are you on?
1.
1. So you can go anywhere you want now with this. It doesn't matter.
And this part is a paid one then if it's asynchronous,
No,
right?
this part that
Oh,
I'm
this
doing
part is
now is totally free. It's
okay.
when you're totally asynchronous for the entire Nearpod presentation that it costs money. But
Okay.
the we're using now is called synchronous with asynchronous pieces. And that's free.
Okay.
So on this part, the teacher gives the students time to go through the slides, but whenever the teacher clicks to the next slide, everybody will click to the next slide.
Notice as a student, I don't have the next slide feature here, but if I go back to my teacher mode, I have the movement. So if you haven't finished reading and I clicked here, oh, too bad, it's done. There's the end of the asynchronous feature. And now you should have on your screen a website. So we're able to come in and bring you to a website. And then as a teacher, I can say, okay, students, Can
we look at this for a minute? The nice thing about this web feature is the students can only explore within this website. So it's completely safe. so they can explore within those tabs, but it won't take them outside of this website, which is really nice.
So I could go anywhere as a student. So I'm going to go to the student side. I can go anywhere here, but I'm within that website. I can't get out of it. Cool?
So Marcia, what if students had another interest? You've already built this. You've already built this lesson, but now they're asking you another question. Can you add another website like on the fly?
So on the fly, yep. I can go up here to the top and I can say, somebody wanted to know something about the planets that I didn't have available. So now I need to go somewhere and find that information out. So I could immediately go in and type in another website.
Like, I'm sure that we're going to find something that's like, huh?
Since I wasn't prepared, this means I need to get something. And
this is just how fast it would come up.
And
right?
you should have it here. You should be able to click now. Click here to open the web page on your student version. I'll go to the student version and see, Jeannie, on the student side, I have to click on it to do it. On the teacher side, it immediately popped up. And now you can start scrolling through that one as a student.
Very friendly.
So I can give you another website if you want it. But as a teacher, we don't want them, you don't want them to go places. Whoops, close that. Oh.
No. Oh, in this activity? No. Let's do, no. Are you on the teacher side?
I'm on the teacher's version. I think, yeah, I need to close this, yes. Close this activity because it was an extra one within.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
We just learned something new.
I have to remember things like that. Okay.
So those are two ways to use web pages. You can have it already embedded, or you can just add it while you're doing the lesson.
Okay, moving on. You can also embed videos within this. You can have the teacher run the video and not have the kids do it. But on the kids' side, they have the ability to do it too. So if they have headphones, they can all be watching the video in their own time. Stop, rewind, whatever they want to do. But it actually plays the whole video.
And there's two ways we can add the video, like from a YouTube or a Vimeo or another video download, or it can be like an MP4 file that we can also download. So either way, you can add the video.
And guys, if you have questions about what we're showing, ask. Go ahead and ask now along the way.
Fast. Let's show the poll feature next.
Is that what's coming up?
That's what's coming up.
Good for Kim. This poll feature then allows students, like we did at the beginning, we actually did a poll feature where you put in questions that you wanted to ask. This one allows you to pick something that you want to learn about. So which planets would you want to visit? I want to go to Mars. Kim, where are you going to go?
Well, you'll find out in a minute.
Liz is going to
Mars.
Mars. Oh, Liz and I are going to Mars. Kim's going to go to Saturn. And we have our percentages over here, so you have all of that information here. So now we can actually team students together and have them do research on their particular planets.
I have a question, Marcia.
Yeah.
So all these features that you're showing us, are there templates for this? Do we have to like do this from scratch?
Total templates. You just create it and it's a piece of cake. It's a total template where you just add your information, a question in, you decide if you want it to be ABC, short answer, whatever, and then they fill it in.
So they've kind of built templates already for us.
Yes, all pre-made templates to help you create polls, question and answers, more tools coming up yet. Okay. So the next thing is the draw tool. At this point, we want you to draw what you think you would see if you traveled to the moon.
This is actually one of my favorite ones, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to go into my Nearpod site as a student, and this is what you see as students. That definitely wasn't what I saw as a teacher, was it? I'm waiting to see the drawings. So now we have to go out here and do drawings. You have the ability to use drawing highlighters, pens, text, images. So I could actually go out to images and I could browse Google Images for moon shots. And so maybe I would want this one to be on there. That one didn't work last time. There it is. There it comes on. So I can put that one on the moon. A kid thinking that an airplane can fly that close to the moon tells you something about that child, right? Form of assessment. So I'm going to send it off as a student. And creators, Liz is seeing
what I kind
creators.
of like about this is we get these different formative assessments like all the way throughout the lesson. I mean, we've already done a poll, we've done a drive, we've done a survey. So you get a lot of assessments also in real time where you're getting all the students.
Now, as a student, you see nothing but a word thank you. Now I'm going to share what Liz said there are craters on the moon. What do you think? Class, are there craters on the moon? I can unshare that and close it. And then Marcia thinks that people can actually fly that close to the moon. What do you think? And then maybe I could share this one. There's a flag on the moon. Do you think there's a flag on the moon? And so we get at those types of questions. And if you had 20 kids in the class, you could share different ones and get the thinking really going about that and the discussion going.
So again, the students' names don't come up.
Right.
Just the sharing part. So
right. When I shared with you, you guys saw no names, right? Yeah. Oh,
Right.
Oops, sorry, I didn't do that. That was not nice. Here we go. There you go. So you saw nobody's names. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to close that out. That was the draw tool, right?
right.
Okay, now it's time for you guys to actually take a quiz on the solar
Can we
system.
go back a minute?
Yep. So let's go back.
So I wondered if we can kind of brainstorm.
Oh, no.
Oh, we can't.
Yes, we can. I hit the wrong back button.
So on that draw it tool, what are possible ways that you think you could use that for formative assessment? I mean, we did a planet. What are the ways do you think you could use that? What could you have students be doing? Like if it was in another subject area, math or reading, what might that be?
Well, it might be a way to review before a test, almost like a graphic organizer.
Nice. Graphic organizer.
Yeah.
One of them they put in here was like for math, how we're always asking the students to, show their thinking and write their solutions. So the students could actually write how they solved a problem, just like, and then on the pre-reading board, like we'll have them go up and show that. Well, students could actually write the solution to, let's say, a multi-digit problem. Then you've got all those different solutions you can bring up like right away.
All those different strategies for solving the problem.
I think what's nice for the teacher, like Marcia could choose, like really quickly, which 3 or 4 of those strategies she wanted to share. So they got some other ones on here, like asking students a question about their favorite part of the story, filling in the map. But I think that site could be really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the students go do the hover cam, right? Put their solution under there, but I'm wondering if this could be a better way
to do that. And then it would be very quick because you can see the students that are direct modeling where you, and then you can see the students that are using other more flexible strategies, and then just scaffold that as you bring it up, and then have them talk about it. You don't have to talk about it. Kids could talk about it.
Okay.
So now it's test time.
Quiz time.
Quiz time.
Or test. Yeah.
Or test. And on your screen, it just says, as for teacher, this is me. I have 4 questions for you, and you have to answer each of those 4 questions, and then I get to see how you did here. But in the student side, all they can do is click go to take the quiz. And so we're going to take the quiz, Jeannie. You and I have to take this quiz. Which is our smallest planet?
Of those 3 choices?
Mars, Mercury, or Uranus?
Mercury.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while since
next.
I studied planets.
Next one, which is our largest planet?
Jupiter.
And next, how many planets in our solar system have rings?
Ooh. 1. I don't know.
I'm putting 1. Which planet has the shortest year?
Let's see, is Mercury closer to the sun? I would say Mercury.
Okay. You're all done. And then tap next to submit your final answers. You have submitted your answers. That was the student side. Here we are at the teacher side.
I got knocked out.
Oh.
Yeah, I went to, when I had that thing on my screen again, the crater thing, I picked on the pictures to go get one from my iPad, and it knocked me out.
Oh, bummer. But you can log back in anytime, remember?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't write down the code. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay.
UOCKG, and you'll come right into this page.
I got 1 out of 4. I've taken this quiz before too, so holy buckets.
Holy buckets.
But again, real time, like it's kind of like that exit card, right? That you give at the end of the lesson.
Where are we at?
We have some like data like right away. I'm like, no, we can find out which kids are missing which questions, and I think that's pretty good. So this is another template, the quiz one.
The quiz one is another template. You build the questions, and you can even put images and video with your quiz questions. You can add a video here. You can add a picture here. It can be short answer. You could even put some text here for them to read and then respond to. If you're reading, you could put a math problem here, a story problem, and have them solve it. So there's a lot of different ways you can go here with the quiz. It's just I did the simplified form just to let you see that you could do quizzes.
I can't see it, but there's a share feature on here also that you can share the scores
right here.
With individual students. So
there's the share. Okay, right there. And then as you that Kim got hers. Liz, you should have gotten yours. And this is you and me, Jeannie. This is how we did when I shared. Each of us individually got our own scores and how well we did. We had 75% correct and 25% incorrect. In other words, we got 1 question incorrect. So you can go down here to the bottom and you can go to your answers. In this case, the correct answer was actually there are 4 planets with rings.
Didn't know that. You know what I did, Marcia, when I got knocked out? I did it myself. I see it in the top right corner. I have an exit. So I thought I was moving forward, and I actually exited. So it was my own fault.
Yeah, you understand that. Okay, so there you get to see the students, and it's just by clicking right here in the middle, kids get to see their own scores immediately. So it's immediate feedback. Another great thing about it.
Let's go to the Nearpod icon in the middle. And it shows reports. Let's go to reports.
Yep.
And so the teacher can get reports of all the students in real time. So Nearpod stores all the student information in the cloud so that you can access and export that data at any time from anywhere. So one of the ways is just like we did, we went to the logo and we clicked on reports. You can email the reports directly to yourself, students, parents, or whoever is appropriate. Another way is to go
I should have gotten it as an email. No, how did I get that report?
You just got it in your inbox.
Oh, there it came.
Yeah.
I was going to say email.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another way is to go back to the home page and remember one of our 5 choices was reports. You can go back to the home page and click on reports.
And so that gives the report on everything. The number of students, the student participation, each one of the activities individually done. So you get the whole printout of the whole report. So now you're keeping a record of everything you're doing as well. So it's a great record keeping tool. Whoops. You can go high enough.
Now, I'm still sitting in my screen, is that right, with my answers?
Yep, that's where you're at. Yep.
Okay.
And so I can unshare now. and your screen should go to this again.
Yep.
Okay.
I can see where students would exit out just like what I did, you know.
And so we want to tell them not to do that. Then.
Yeah.
Sure that that's a feature that we tell them, don't X out, just wait, because the teacher will share that with you in a moment.
Can you share what this button here is down
Sure. Oh, this is the scrubber.
This is the scrubber.
Oh,
And so now we can go back through and talk about anything we want. So come on, whoops.
So we'll let you go forward and back if you want to go back and look at another slide, or instead of keep going through the back button.
Mm-hmm. So the kids had struggled with information, so maybe we need to get them back on the website so they can research more information, so we can go back there with them based on what we did. So that could be immediate as well.
Right.
And that's our scrubber. Okay. And now to the self-paced version. Now I'm going to go ahead and end this, and I'll end the lesson.
Well, let's not do that. So we got
Oh.
one page.
What? Don't.
Well,
One more page. I'll go to the self-paced bit. Oh, that's right. We won't do the self-paced for a minute. Whoop.
so this is a handout we just found. It's like, if you want to, it kind of walks you through everything we did today. It's a checklist.
And you can get it also. You click here just to open the web page, and you have access as a student the same way I had access as the teacher.
So we also have this on our wiki page, but we thought this might be a good go-to checklist. It actually takes you through the steps, just like we did. If you want to create something, you have all the hyperlinks there.
And helpful reminders of everything you need to do to make it more engaging for the students. And minimize that. I have to remember too. Click.
Okay.
I'm going to minimize this because I think I'm not getting back. I don't want to open the page. Oh, I'm on the student side. I need to get back to the teacher side. I forget that I'm in two versions here. Okay. So, do you want me to show you the asynchronous version? And then we'll ask questions?
sounds good.
Okay. So I'm going to go out of this, and then you can ask any kind of questions you have. I'll end the lesson. So that same session, or any one of these, maybe I wanted equivalent fractions. I wanted this to be done asynchronously so kids can do it at their own pace, customized learning. So I can click on homework. I can take this pen and share it with my kids via email or as a link or embed it in the Google Classroom. And then once they have this link, they can go through that class asynchronously at their own pace. So it no longer is done. So if I were to take this code right now, and I would go in as the student over here, and I would want to join and put this pin in. I am now in that asynchronous session, and I can work through it at my own pace now. I'm the student, and I'm going through it at my own pace.
So a teacher was talking to us about it. She said, you know, if she knew students were like, had a doctor appointment the next day, or were going to be absent, or something else was going on, she could actually give them their assignment the night before, right, or when they came in, and students were able to still complete their work. So sometimes she did it as front loading, the lesson that she was going to do. Sometimes it was like, that was, the kids still had their homework and they were able to do that when they knew they were going to be done ahead.
Yeah, like this one, after they have done a lot of work with hands-on with finding slope, now they can go back into a finding slope review to help them get a better understanding after they've done it hands-on. There are so many great lessons out here. It's unbelievable. Questions from you guys?
What were the grades again?
K through 12.
And I think I'm going to start doing some of my adult presentations on here that I do for professional learning also, that it just won't be, you know, for students. I'm going to look at it as how I can use it for when I teach other educators.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did a TPAC, taught TPAC to teachers in Cowley, Wyoming. And so I set the whole session up in here in Nearpod so that they could learn about what TPAC is, but they can also learn about Nearpod in the process of learning about TPAC. So I set that up the same way.
We have a few minutes. I'm wondering if we could go back to the create and actually show them how easy it is to create a lesson.
Sure.
Show the templates. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so new lesson. And we're ready to add a slide. This is the slide right here. On that slide, we can add content. We can add a web content. We can add an activity. If you add content, that could be your slide, a video, a slideshow, a field trip, which is something new, audio, PDF, or Twitter stream.
So if we wanted to add an existing PowerPoint, would that be the slideshow or the slide?
If you want the whole thing to be slides along the way, it is this one, I think. This is a good test because I got to remember which is which. I get confused between the two. One, it's a slideshow on one page. The other, it's slides that fill your whole screen, and then you make that interactive. So add a new slide from image files. This one is, what's slideshow? Drag your file here. So I'm going to go in and browse my files.
This is right there, PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint. So now I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find a PowerPoint. I don't have too many of those. Let's see.
There you go.
A ton of them. In other words, I'm being facetious. Slideshow added. Okay, so now when I go here,
So as we understand it, you can add your slideshow, but then you can go back and customize that slideshow. So you have your slideshow, then you can go back and you can add those features like poll and survey. So you're making your already created PowerPoint interactive.
So now you can drag and add other files. Okay. So I want to save that. And 13 images there in that one. So experience your lesson just as students. That's a preview.
So let's click on that slideshow or add slide. Can we put that right in the slideshow? I think we can.
Yeah, I think so.
With the add button right there.
Add another slide.
Okay.
But that's not it. We want to add a slide. Whoops, see, we're screwing up. I'm sorry. So we want to add another slide. Now we can add web content. Add a URL.
Let's do the Thai conference again.
And then save it. That's another slide, and I can add another slide. And I want to add an activity. So I want to do an open-ended question. Enter your question here. What are your thoughts about Nearpod? Okay.
We could add an image if we wanted to.
I can add an image, and we can pick it from Google Images. Nearpod. Okay. And save it.
So usually when you're adding stuff to an already existing, it puts all those slides at the end, but then you can go back and move them all around when they're all done. So.
And you know what? This one is going to be a slideshow in and of itself. So what I needed to do for that one was actually bring the PowerPoint in right here. So this one I need to delete. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to bring the PowerPoint in right here. Drag your files right here. So I need to get my PowerPoint again. See, that comes from not doing it often enough. And I'm going to drag it right there.
That was pretty easy.
Okay, now I've got all of the PowerPoint slideshow right here. Whoops, it's not all there yet. It must be still loading. There it comes. Still loading. There they come.
Why did you want to do that?
I wanted to, so now I could make this as an interactive presentation and bring in quizzes and stuff into my PowerPoint. So now I can actually pull this down and I can put it in here. I can pull this open-ended question down and I can put it here. So you can take a slideshow and make it more interactive. Sometimes our PowerPoints are really not interactive, not engaging, but they have a lot of good content. And we don't want to reinvent the wheel with changing things, but I liked my PowerPoint. I just like to make it more interactive with kids. Now I can put the websites in there. Can you imagine talking about history, how they've done the PowerPoints before? Now I can actually take them out to Excitement. I can take them out to the History Museum, History Explorer Museum, and do all those kinds of things with them. And then I can have quizzes in here as well.
I'm even thinking, you know, if I don't do it as a teacher student, when I'm doing a presentation and I have all these tabs open, like a tab that will open up the website, another tab to show the video, I could just create my whole presentation just within this. And then everything is done for me. I don't have to be looking through other tabs and everything. So I'm thinking this is something I want to use just for a presentation, like for the time conference.
Yes.
Right?
And the other thing with YouTube, how many schools have trouble with YouTube? Accessing YouTube. Now you can bring it right into this site and you can use it with Nearpod. You don't have to worry about access to YouTube because it's within the website, within this Nearpod presentation. But that went pretty quickly, didn't it, to add things?
Yeah.
And so just remembering, if you're bringing in a PowerPoint, you drag and drop it right there, and then you add stuff. And then the little slideshow one that I did with the 13 images thing, that could have been that little one that kids read on their own, where it had the 1, 2, 3, 4 before.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's like that reading part where we showed where it has those slides right within that. So this way we can break it out.
Yeah. I'm definitely not publishing this one.
No. So what do you think? Pretty user-friendly?
Really user-friendly.
Very. Yes, I like it.
Definitely going to share it with teachers that I'm working with.
I think that, and I think the cost, we checked on it one time, but it was a pretty minimal cost. It wasn't like, I don't remember what it was.
I think, didn't we have that somewhere?
It was pretty inexpensive though. We didn't think it was a huge expense.
I can really see my schools using it because they have so much trouble with substitutes. They usually just have somebody in their room.
With what?
Usually they've got just a warm body in their classroom. So when they're gone, this would be really useful.
Yeah, definitely. And here's the different features here. And $10 a month, and they get these features. And then school volume discounting, that you have to contact them, but you get a pretty good discount. And then this one, if you go this big, up to 200, class size up to 200 kids in the whole school, you can actually get an on-site training.
Oh.
Dedicated on-site training.
They've been pretty, we've called them lots of times and they get right back to us. Plus there's a lot of free webinars that you can sign up for. So they have these like ongoing webinars and tips and everything on how to do it. So we found them pretty user-friendly that way also.
Yep, and if you get on their page and you like them, they will send out discounts. Sometimes when there's something that was cost at one time, a presentation, they'll get it out to you as free. And you have to take advantage of it that day.
Any questions? Any questions you have?
No, but I start playing.
You already playing with it, Jeannie?
No, I said I'll start playing with it. I bet I'll have a question or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think we'll be too far away.
Yeah.
Jeannie's in our office, so.
Oh, okay.
And Liz, you aren't far away either.
That's right.
Phone call, an email, or a Zoom away.
That's right. This Zoom, it really works well.
Doesn't it, though? It does really help for the training. Well, guys, if you have no other questions.
This was great. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Going to share it.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah. See you very soon.
Yes.